Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Georgia suburban homestead. We are ending the second week of March, and a spell of really nice weather, highs in the mid 60s to 70s, lows at night not below 50 for weeks. So the trees all decided it was safe to bud out. I just wanted to show you what everything looks like before temperatures go down into the low 20s tomorrow night, and with the wind chill into the teens. So we don't know if we're going to get much of a fruit harvest this year, because I don't think a whole lot is going to survive this. Now in here, we've already put on plastic. Can you see that there's cherry blossoms? Are those showing? The forsythia up the hill is already through its bloom and putting on leaves. This is what concerns me most, is the plum trees. You can see it's leafing out and it's covered in blooms. We have had a problem in the last few years, actually. We're not getting any plums because of this exact same situation, where they bloomed and the fruit was setting, and then all of a sudden we had a hard freeze. Now a mild freeze won't really hurt it, but into the teens with high winds is going to be devastating. The raspberries you saw me transplant in January, the first day of the year, leafing out. I'm not as worried, because I think the plants would just put on new leaves and won't be set back too much. But this ain't gonna be good. You know, the chickens don't care as long as they get scratching that garden. I'm so thankful that I didn't set out my seedlings yet. I don't know what y'all think. You give me some feedback on whether you think we'll get one more freeze before April. Okay, so I'll wait until after the freeze to do the second part of this video to show you what we lost. See you in a couple of days. Well, it is blowing cold air in from the north, and we're going to have temperatures down into the teens tonight. And right now we've got high winds, and as you can see, the winds have brought a tree down from our neighbor's yard. It's blocking the residential street, so this is a dilemma. But our yard is basically okay, although the tree is leaning against our big cedar, and we're hoping that it's not going to bring it down too. We shall see. Stay warm.
All the trees are going to have to be down.
Yeah. That's Charlie. He's always the one guy in the neighborhood that helps. And that's Larry, who owns the tree. These guys are going to clear this to make a way for the YouTube community. This is my lovely neighbor, my favorite neighbor, who joined.
You know what, Lisa?
Who joined the channel but hasn't watched any of it.
I just woke up and I still got, you know, face is unclean. Now you're like my mother. Just stick the camera in your face, right?
Yeah. She joined our channel, y'all, and she hasn't watched any videos. This is my neighbor.
Eventually I will, right? It's always,
yeah.
You know, I was just thinking, I need to get up and leave today, and guess what?
Tell us what you think of the gardens.
Oh, I think it's beautiful. You know, I tell everybody, it's the Garden of Eden, right? It's because you grow everything. You have everything over here. So, I love it.
And you don't mind the garden in the front yard?
Absolutely not. No.
Yay!
No, not at all.
Oh, hell. I just
Charlie's out front taking care of the neighbor's tree down, and I look out the back window. What do I see? But the cover's blown off the citrus house. That's not good. That you, Charlie? Yeah. We got something we got to tackle back here. Did you notice?
No.
Push on the gate a little for me. Push it this way. Okay. Look at the citrus house. Yeah, we're gonna have to jump on this right now.
Oh, I'm gonna have to change my shoes. I just put water in my socks.
Oh, sorry. He wanted to help. Gale force winds, y'all. North Georgia, March 11th, 2022. We just lost part of our roof.
What?
We just lost part of our roof.
We did. Where?
Right here. Finally, the troops have arrived. One neighbor stuck around, the other guy with the coverall stuck around long enough to cut a hole big enough to get his truck through. How nice of him, huh?
It is the Monday after the hard freeze. I'm going to be uncovering the blooming fruit trees and checking on the citrus and moving plants that have been living in my living room back out into the sun. Why didn't I put them in the greenhouse, some of you may be wondering? Because I've already planted the greenhouse out with the next set of cold crops. So we're running out of space. This stuff needs to be in the ground soon. Let's see what survived and what didn't. Alright, cherry trees, let's see what happened. These clips we bought in a bag. It's like a web bag to get onions in. But there's a bunch of different size clips at the Home Depot. They have come in so handy when it comes to adhering plastic around things or sheets over things for surprise pop-up freezes and instances like that. Good purchase. As well as the Satsuma orange. That cherry tree, the blooms were almost done.
However, the buds on this sassafras tree don't look like they're so lucky. See that? Kind of dried up and fallen off. 30, 40 years ago, it was colder in the winters more consistently. The sad thing about right now is the fact that it had warmed up for such a long period of time and tricked the plants into budding out. As you see, the raspberries we planted in January are doing absolutely fine. That's a good thing. Let's go look at the Yazoo orange. This is a new plant for me, Yazoo orange from Japan. Actually, the cultivar is from China, but it's a juice orange used in Japanese sauces. It's supposed to be the most cold hardy of all the citrus that we put in the ground last year, but that branch right there doesn't look too happy. Let's see what the rest of the tree looks like. Got a little bit of tip burn. As you can see, the tree's complaining, having been really cold. Get down to like 17 degrees here, and that didn't include the wind chill factor. Again, it wouldn't have been as bad had it been a gradual warming or a gradual cooling. The fact that everything had warmed up to almost 80 degrees during the day and in the 60s at night didn't give the plants time to adjust when that cold hit. Hopefully it's the last cold snap we get. We're midway through March. Typically our last frost date is the end of the first week of April, so we've got 3 more weeks of iffy weather. It's now officially spring as of Sunday, yesterday. Looking up at the Chickasaw plum, I'm not sure the camera will focus on this, but it looks like the very outer branches have lost their blooms, but there's still blooms hanging on 2 days later. So, and I see the mason bees up in it doing their thing. If you haven't caught my mason bee videos, I've got 2 videos, one telling you a little bit about what mason bees are and what they do for us, and the next one on how to build a bee house. So you may want to catch that. These are our super pollinators. They're native to our areas. They will help you increase your yield and your fruit and your berries and in the garden later in the summer when the leaf cutters come out. So let's go down to the greenhouse and see what we can move out. I lost a few of my exotic peppers to the cold. Actually, they baked because we had so much heat going on in the greenhouse. They succumbed, but we dunked them in water last night. Hopefully they've revived, because some of the varieties that were really hard to germinate are the ones that were the hardest hit. So come on down to the greenhouse with me and see what's going on there. Our friend the pink dandelion from Eastern Europe looks okay, as do the red vein sorrel. Right here. This whole tray yesterday looked like this. So it looks like we may lose 2. Those are Paski purple, which I think is like a purple Polish
purple jalapeno. Okay, I didn't think you wanted to watch me just move plants out of the greenhouse, but this all came out of the greenhouse. We've got more holy basil and cinnamon basil there. These are the teeny little peppers we stepped up about 10 days ago from just 2 leaves. They're growing. These are growing a little bit faster. I think they've been stepped up maybe 3 or 4 days longer than that. Thanks for hanging out with me today and looking at what the hard freeze killed and what it didn't. Stuff in the greenhouse did great. Really pleased with the simple greenhouse construction here. And we should in the next week start plunking things into the raised beds. And of course I'll invite you along to see that process. Again, it's mid-March, North Georgia, just northeast of Atlanta, zone 7B8A, kind of right on the cusp of the 2 zones. But thanks for coming in. If you like what you're seeing and like following me, and I hope you do, please hit that subscribe button. Bing! Subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Hit the bell so that you'll get all the notifications. And make a comment. I love hearing from you. Okay? Until next time. See you later.